Frank Harris' story is probably one of the most fascinating ones. Frank, he spent his entire life caring and nourishing others. He was able to escape Hitler's wrath. And what he learned was such a valuable lesson, a lesson all of us could learn, and that is persevere regardless of the obstacles. Now this served him very well, especially when he tried to build a central kitchen. Now let me tell you about Frank. He was born in 1922, and he was born when really Germany was a great place to live. But not more than 10 years later, Hitler came to power, and everything changed at that time. At the age of 16, he escaped to Holland. Now, shortly afterwards, his family met him in London, and they migrated to the United States. And when Frank came to the United States, he became a U.S. citizen. And as a U.S. citizen, what do you think happened to him? He was immediately inducted into the Army. And when he was inducted into the Army, he became a baker and he became a cook. After his stint in the Army, he spent the rest of his time until 1967 working in the food service industry. He worked for the Waldorf Astoria, but he's so proud. He worked for a Catholic seminary, the Mary Knowles Seminary, where he was known as the Jewish cook.
Frank's true calling came in 1967 when he answered an ad for a child nutrition director at the Norwalk school. After a grueling 4-hour interview, he was offered the job and kept it for 39 years. The department secretary and assistant director at the time felt that Frank would never make it as a director. However, Frank outlasted that secretary and the next one too. And that doubting assistant director, she came around and has been Mrs. Frank Harris.
I told you, it's a fascinating story. When he took over in Norwalk, Connecticut, there were 18 schools, but only 6 cafeterias. Well, he thought that only 6 cafeterias, where were the other students going to eat? And it became extremely important to him to make sure that he could provide food service for all of the students. Well, when he became the director, he had heard about Central Kitchen. And he said to himself, you know, I think financially, that's the most feasible way to go. Well, he didn't know much about Central Kitchens. And so Frank embarked on a trip. He came to Corpus Christi, Texas, because we had a Central Kitchen that we were third in the nation. But not only did he come to Corpus Christi, but he went to other school districts because he really wanted to learn about the financial controls, the quality of the food, wanted to know about Central Kitchens. And when he came back, he proposed to his district, we have to build a Central Kitchen. This is the way to feed all of our children. But he also said to them, I don't want you to pay for it. I want either the federal government or the state to pay for it. Well, in his state of Connecticut, he wasn't very popular. It became one of the hottest issues. Should they put in money for the kitchen or should they not? Well, it took him 5 years, but remember that lesson that he learned early in life? It did him well. And he persevered. It was an obstacle. He overcame that obstacle. And when they finally announced that he could have a Central Kitchen, a man who provided potato chips for him, he discovered that that man voted against building the kitchen. And he went to me, he said, why did you do that? He said, well, my party told me to do that. He said, well, I'm going to tell you something I want you to know. You are no longer my potato chip salesman.
Frank's Central Kitchen was a grand success. The staff never sent USDA chickens or turkeys out for processing, but cooked everything fresh and made an exciting array of menu items. They featured international menus, introducing students to new cuisines. Frank even invited dignitaries from the United Nations to check out the central kitchen concept for possible application in underdeveloped countries. Frank also started the breakfast program at Norwalk. It did not appear to be a popular idea, but he was undeterred. He needed to go to the board each time he wanted to start a breakfast program in a new school, and 18 times he received approval. Students' classroom performance improved as the number of breakfasts served increased.
What is Frank best known for? Universal feeding. And he champions that wherever he possibly can go. I don't know if this is a true story, but he went to dinner last night, and I understand that he even got comped for the dinner because he told him about universal feeding. He has always felt that if schools can provide books and supplies, why not provide food for all of the children? Now with him, it wasn't a matter of finance. It was strictly a matter of principle, that he felt all students should be fed at no charge. He is certainly the most dedicated school food service person I know. Let me tell you what he did. He became president of the Connecticut School Food Service Association, 1973. Now, as president, he was asked to carry at the convention the Connecticut flag. And at the same year he got married, well, he was in a dilemma. I want to go to the convention and carry the flag, but where do I take my bride on a honeymoon? Where do you think they went? To New Orleans for him to carry the flag. He was so proud of what he has done. During his lifetime, he has been on many committees, and state committees, national committees, but probably the thing that he's most happy about is the award he got from Market Ford for building his central kitchen. Well, Frank has gotten other awards as Director of the Year, not once, but twice. This shows the kind of man he is. And he received it both awards, one in 1998 and the other in 2004. And now Frank is about to receive another prestigious award. Is that a great story? Let me ask you.
There's a reason Frank Harris worked until he was almost 86. Child nutrition is his passion. As Frank says, there is no more rewarding profession than to work as a food service professional in any school system providing nutritious meals for students. With an attitude like that and a resume to match, I can think of no more deserving of this most prestigious award. It is my privilege to present to you our 2013 Gertrude Applebaum Lifetime Achievement Award winner, Frank Harris.
Even begin to thank everyone for this great honor. When someone receives an Academy Award or a Tony Award, they always thank the directors, the producers, the makeup artists, but I don't need a makeup artist. I want to see straight that I'm properly dressed in makeup. But I do want to thank a lot of people, Tony Roberts, the entire frame committee. I want to thank Zuma, and I want to also thank Cindy, who came especially here to be with us. And a special thanks to my friend Gertrude Applebaum for receiving this award. Above all, I want to thank God for allowing me to escape as a young boy from Nazi Germany and come to this beautiful country and repay a debt to this nation and to this nation's children. no one is simply responsible for one's success. My gratitude goes to all who have helped me in my 39 years as food service director from Norwalk, Connecticut. It was Tom O'Hearn from Massachusetts, whose foresight was instrumental in proposing universal free meals for all students in the United States. And after Tom's early demise, I took over his struggle for universal feeding. I have never let up in my determination to succeed in reaching this goal. I've resisted all arguments, mostly that there is no money. It is never a question of money, but a question of priority. And there's no greater priority than the education and the health of our children, the future of our country. Being retired for 7 years is no excuse to stop caring. I will continue to attend LAC annually, and I have proposed the following 5-part steps to universal. Number 1, teach nutrition education at all schools, at all age levels. Number 2, food service workers should do what they do best, and that is prepare and serve nutritious meals and be surrogate parents to all of our students and not be teachers. Number 3, playtime before lunchtime to allow students to get rid of all their aggressive behavior, to be able afterwards to enjoy their nutritious meals and perform and learn much better in the classrooms. Number 4, extend lunch periods and provide more congenial atmosphere in the lunchrooms and in the cafeterias. And number 5, by staying in school, drug use, crime rates will decrease and health costs will dramatically be reduced. To follow these 5 steps is not only morally right, but educationally sound and nutritionally wise. In summary, by staying in school, ultimately graduating as productive students, they will become tax-paying citizens and contribute in restoring the United States to become once again the #1 country in the world. As we go through life, we suffer many disappointments, severe hardships, but we also experience many rewards. And this Gertrude Applebaum award for me is the greatest. You have made my day, you have made my week, my month, my year, and from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you for this great honor.